I wish that there was a way to just know what happened.
I know, but it's
time travel.
Time travel.
Just go back.
It'd be tough to do, though.
Yeah, but there's a lot of flaws in time travel.
Well, sure.
Jeez.
You know, you got to get to 88 miles per hour. Yep. First of all, you have to do that. Mm-hmm. That's a Back to the Future.
Yeah, no, I
oh, okay.
Yeah. I think everybody understood it.
Well, you had a
because then what I was gonna say next was also the I don't really watch that much time travel stuff anymore, but I would say the last two things that I have watched that involved time travel are Avengers Endgame and then also Family Guy constantly referencing time travel. And they have a shit ton of problems.
The thing about time travel for me is like the logistics of it. There's just so much to consider. One, the money is different. Even if you go back to like the fucking 70s.
Well, Doc Brown with his little briefcase.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so you have to have something like that. You got to have the right clothes. Everybody smells like shit, which nobody seems to think about except, like people smell and are terrible and are raping each other all the time. Like
Bill and Ted did time travel pretty well.
That's true, but that's a special case, I guess. One
that was for their history project.
That was for their history project. So
that also happens in Family Guy one episode.
I do. Yep. I
yeah, they take Chris. Chris is gonna fail his history exam, and he doesn't get. Actually, anything. I think he something. They end up on the Titanic. Yep. Yeah, and then his teacher was never born because of what they did on the event. Yep. So he shows up to class. He shows up to class, and there's no more exam because he has a completely different teacher.
That's pretty funny.
Actually, while we're on the subject of time travel,
will you bring that just a little closer?
I'm sorry.
Andrew? No problem.
Of course.
Slide forward.
Oh yeah, that's good.
This is
perfect. I watched Hot Tub Time Machine the other day, which is actually a great movie.
Yeah,
very
100%.
Very funny.
That's another interesting take on time travel.
Yep.
Just pour Russian Red Bull on your hot tub circuit.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of time travel that you would want to utilize, because they obviously gain so much from the time travel.
And
they go back.
Stuff. They go back in time to be themselves again.
Right. They somehow do that.
They look like their younger selves.
Yeah, they take the place of their younger selves, which is probably not the way it would work. And it'd be creepy if it did work that way.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to. That'd be really weird.
But I did see, and I saw it on Twitter, so super big question mark surrounding this. But I saw a video that said that Microsoft developed the first ever DNA hard drive. So they've had the ability to clone people, right? So they could, they don't, but they could. Well, they do.
They probably do.
Yeah, they do, but they don't, but they could. Just by taking a skin cell and cloning you, right? And now they have the ability to take this DNA hard drive and implant it into the new version of yourself and give you your full consciousness back.
Oh, so like
what's that movie with I think it's Ryan Reynolds, Selfless, where he's the old millionaire and he gets put in a new body.
Yeah,
and then he stops taking his pills or whatever. Because he finds out that he is actually another guy and he finds his wife, remember, because he has those flashbacks, blah, blah, blah. Totally.
So in that movie, though, do they take a guy and then inject Ryan Reynolds into it?
Yeah, they put him in some type of MRI looking machine that spins around his head, and
they pay him a bunch of money or something like that too, and that's how he ended up there or something like that.
That's weird.
I thought he paid.
No, I'm because he wanted to give his wife the money or something like that. Wasn't it?
Well, because he was dying.
I have seen the movie.
He was dying.
Yeah. Right.
That's what it was.
Cancer
that's what it or something. Was. Yeah.
Okay. There's this show on Netflix called Altered Carbon that is, probably the best sci-fi show in the past 10 years or something. The first season is awesome. The second season, they canceled it. It got a little whatever. Some people liked it. I was not as good as the first, but the whole premise of that show is that it's a future where everybody's consciousness exists in these little. It's basically like a little hard drive. It's called a stack. It's like a floppy disk that exists in the back of your neck. So bodies, they call them sleeves because you can just take this thing out and then put it in
a different one.
whatever sleeve and then be that person. So that's a big part of that show, is that the millionaires in this world can just create clone after clone of themselves, and then what do they call it when you like put it to the cloud, back up their consciousness into the stack,
Just in
and then
case
they
they
keep
die
existing
or
like that.
something
Yeah,
like that.
it's crazy.
So they could just do whatever they. That's an interesting. I think about. I was gonna go a completely different direction with this conversation, but imagine if you could actually become. What's the word where you never die? Immortal.
Yeah.
Like, you ever seen the movie Old Guard? It's a
Yeah.
Netflix movie,
I watched
like
that movie. I liked that movie.
The cool part about that is they die eventually, right? Like
Right.
randomly,
They just
one
live for a
time
really
they'll
long
just
time.
they keep regenerating and then randomly it just stops one day,
Yeah.
Wolverine style.
And that's kind of what's different between that and what we were just talking about. And I think that it's more likely that if people are going to become immortal, it's through like
Being able to-
technology. Like
Yeah.
you won't have your original body or
Yeah.
like hop bodies and shit like that. Or so if you do it like that one Black Mirror episode where people are literally just living in like that computer, the one it's called like Santa Barbara or
I've
something.
only
It's like
seen,
the two
I've
women.
only seen a
Yes.
handful of Black Mirror episodes.
Well,
Yeah,
they just their consciousness exists solely. Like they have no body attached to it. It exists solely in
Yeah.
the computer world or whatever.
They're like the old people, right? Isn't that what they're?
Yeah,
Like
they're old
old
people, and
and-
then they like live in this. So does that? I guess that counts as immortal. It's the same question as in the Matrix.
But
There's
don't they
that part.
die? They can die.
I don't know if they can die in the
Or they go-
So their
Simulation.
bodies might die, but they're still
Right, that's what I'm
conscious
saying
in
is that the
computer.
consciousness, the consciousness can exist solely digitally. But it's that question in the Matrix. There's that part in the Matrix where the guy, spoiler alert, like betrays them, and he's eating that steak,
Yeah.
and he's like, I don't care if that it's not real.
real.
It tastes fucking amazing. I mean, so if people get to a point where, to be immortal, you do exist completely digitally, I think that your existence is so real to you at that point that it still counts as being immortal, even though you're not physically.
What if that's the whole idea behind big tech these days? They're trying to get the internet and everything like via social media so immersive into people's lives that they become okay with their consciousness living through.
I mean, that's whether or not that's like their
It's a hell
master
of a
plan or
conspiracy.
whatever. Yeah, exactly. That's just the natural progression of things
I've
at
been
a
hot on
certain point.
conspiracies lately.